education, they are not in employment, they are not in training. Put together, it's called NEET. And this is from the Ghana Statistical Service. The details Eugene will share with us.
Dave, let me start by saying that for me, if government changes power or not, Professor Kwabena and his lieutenant and the Ghana Statistical Service need to be maintained. Dave, anybody who's followed us know that on any day, whether International Day of the Girl Child, Menstrual Hygiene Day, and all that, they give us relevant statistics. And then for me, I've always said that these statistics should serve as the bedrock of our development, especially the manifesto, which are social contract between the parties seeking to get the mandate to rule and the people. Yesterday, 15 July, was the World Youth Scale Day. Dave, how many of us even know this? But they give us the statistics to inform us on what is happening. Now, Dave, they are saying that in the third quarter of 2023, third quarter meaning that from July to September, right? It's a third quarter, so 3 months. There were 1.9 million young people between 15 and 35 years in Ghana who were not in education, employment, or training. So meaning that when they go to school, they don't find them. When they go to the workplaces, they don't find them. When they go to the training facilities, they don't find them. And that's according to the 2023 Annual Housing Income and Expenditure Survey, the AHIES. And they, most worryingly, is that females are 1.2 million. They are the predominant gender, and the males are 715,691. Now, let me do an analysis here. This tells about why I always say that our young girls and women are more susceptible, because they were lady who is not employed.
You want to say vulnerable?
Vulnerable and susceptible to all kinds of things, including domestic violence, including abuse and all, because the person is not working. So if the gentleman goes and comes and gives him something small, even when in the face of extreme abuse and all these things, and we know how they come to Mayfair and all these things, right? They accommodate all these excesses just because of some of these statistics. So it tells you that we need to target females, particularly when it comes to education, when it comes to employment, when it comes to training, and leapfrog them from poverty, because it has a certain linkage with abuse and all that. Now, the third leg is that 1 in every 3 youth residents in Greater Accra falls within this category. Meaning that when you pick 10 people in Greater Accra, at least 3 of them are not going to school, are not employed, and in any form of training. Dave, and the least region of this number is the Northeast region. So basically, this is a wrap of it. And I'm very, 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 very alarmed, because Dave, you see, we are going into an election year where everything mimics 2008. It's a watershed election. And we need to quickly put some of these things into manifestos. The ones we can do now, let's do it. And stop this youth in trees, youth in flowers, youth in that, and 3 years they are back on the street. No. And Dave, again, the last time we did the free SHS and Kofi Asai brought out data, you saw that we were even questioning how some of them were falling off. Though they passed, they were not able to transition into tertiary education, right? So we need to look at all these numbers and fashion out policies.
You know, when COVID was rife, one of the things that the president, during his addresses to the nation, said that all that we're doing was based on science and data. Science and data. And it helped us to survive COVID to a large extent. So this is data put together by the GSS. Now, if as a nation we want to strategize properly for the youth of this country, and the youth are the future leaders of this country. So if they are not in education, they are not in employment, they are not in training, where are they?
Exactly.
What are they doing?
They're advancing
and you know that there's this statement that the devil finds work for the idle hands. So if their hands are idle, they might go into prostitution. Not necessarily professional prostitution, but they will do things that will give them some money because they need to survive.
The professional and the hookup, the modern one, the digital one.
So for me, this information, this data by the Ghana Statistical Service is something that the two key political parties ought to take, sit down, strategize as to if they should get the nod, what plans they will put in place to ensure that people are in school, people are in training, people are in employment. Because these young ones, if they don't find jobs, then they'll go into armed robbery. And this time around, you saw 2 weeks ago what happened on the Accra-Kumasi stretch, where some VIP buses were packed because of some armed robbery going on. Who do you think is going to do these things? The elderly, the aged, the youth?
The gentlemen who had been arrested by the Ghana, the 4 gentlemen, what were their ages?
19,
22.
I think there was even 18 in there.
Yes,
if
and Dave,
right.
the oldest, if I'm not mistaken, was 24. So Dave, that's why we always talk about susceptibility and vulnerability. You see, we need to really look out for our young people, because Dave, you see, some of them today, it be a quadro. For that, it's a start. Some of that, Dave, there are people you find jobs for, they disappointed you. Some, their lifestyle, they want the soft life. It's agreed. But Dave, there are also many people who are going to, Dave, I have not told you this. Last week, I found a girl in school, and if Dr. DeGraff Johnson is listening, our friend from the statistical department, God bless him. Dave, there's a girl with a 72 CWA at KNUS reading Natural Science, and he goes a day without food.
Wow.
Yes. I found her this Saturday.
She goes a day without food.
So today's exactly a week I found her. I went for church in the evening, and that was how I got to know her. And Dave, 72. When she checked the results, I was stunned. And by the grace of God, Dr. DeGraff Johnson has given her a facility, a campus to stay till final year. We are now trying to work around school fees for her. 72. And she goes a day without food. So you see, Dave, there are many people.
And these are brilliant children.
These are brilliant children.
And yet our members of parliament
want to do sirens.
No, we talk about the sirens, but they take advantage of what they call as scholarships available. Scholarships that are supposed to be used for girls like this. And they travel to go study. You have chairpersons of political parties giving it to their children.
You see, Dave, if someone is going abroad to do
and this girl
nuclear physics
is brilliant, it needs help.
Oh, Dave, this is the result.
This girl is brilliant, very brilliant, and needs help.
Yes.
You know, we're talking about people who are not in employment as well. How can you be in employment? Let me tell you a story. So there's this woman who takes the house help for training, sewing. Upon completion of learning how to sew, you know what the madam is taking or demanding? 5 kg rice, or per bear tray plus oil, or per television, or per ntoma.
Not their porn or whatever.
To
graduate you.
How many people can afford television, oil, rice?
It's sad, though, Dave. It's sad. Our relative.
So if your father or mother cannot provide these things, how would you go for training?
Yes, you never go. Now, Dave, you the last time I said, oh, my own sister, you know, akufo-addo has done a so let's stay home small. Dave, the machine and everything, how much was it? Was it almost 2,000? So Dave, you see, and even Dave, the 2,000 later they are telling me to bring chair, this, that. So Dave, if you see, the whole country is some way, and Dave, you see, what saddens me is that this is why the Kenyan people went to the parliament too. When we say, Dave, your friend who was chased with a cutlass, you see, so they should be careful. Dave, there are more young people in traffic. Dave, let me give you one signal. That gets me afraid. Have you seen the footbridge at Tech Junction? When it's around 4:35, look at the ably young men, sometimes numbering 15 to 14, waiting to shadow a car and get 5 cedis. It's one of the signs for me. You just go there around 4, park and just observe, and they are just there. What they're doing is that when they throw the buses are parked and then they look in there. Somebody has something they can carry to help the person, then they do that. Now, do you know the trick they brought to a doom? If you're a lady and you are wearing expensive wigs, they target you at the throat, then they remove the wig and sell at cheaper prices. That's the new trick in town.